Well, we are back again with a review. A good review, actually. But I'm going to do some controversial takes on this. So, everyone get ready for the hot seat on this one. Predator Badlands came out this Friday. Didn't have an early release screening, didn't have much, I want to say, release stuff for it. So, it's coming out. Disney was really hyping it up as a good movie. I was excited. Back in, I think it was 2023 or 2024, they announced that it was going to be happening. It was going to be a Predator protagonist, so it was good to see that they were taking a different take on it. So I was excited for it. Story, everything. More and more kept showing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Predator going on his own, little run to the litter, doing his own thing. So I waited for reviews. Reviews were coming out very positive on this movie. I was a little scared because Marvel back in 2022 was having a lot of positive reviews on certain movies, but they were garbage. Same with a lot of DC and all this other stuff, but it kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, it can't be that good, can it? Saw it yesterday, and it is good. It is a dang good movie. I'm not even going to lie because of how they took the direction of the movie. And I'm going to say this too. I took my dad to see it. My dad's an oldies, Terminator, all of them. He saw them before I was even born. So he understands what these movies are all about, how they started, and some of them in which way they're going. But when my dad alone says, hey, I like where this director's taking the franchise. He changed it in Prey. He changed it in this movie. He didn't see Predator Killer of Killers, but I told him about the story and how they did it there, and he's like, I actually like that. I actually like how they're doing that, I was like, exactly. This is what the franchise needed. So, from a oldie and me, we both say that this movie is good. Now, I've heard the bad side of what people have said about this movie, and I don't agree with it one bit. Now, here's my take on all of it. The first one was when it first got announced and shown what the Predator would look like. They're like, why does he look like that? He looks like a generic, specific person. And I'm like, he looks like a Predator. He's an alien. And in comics and in the games, they've had different looking Predators, from the males to the females, to look different in size, stature, and helmets. I've always been a fan of how different Predators looked. The old Predators, like the ones that have been so worn-torn, they look so different. They've seen so many different things, their armor systems. And when Predator Hunting Grounds came out, it showed me a side of different looking female Predators and the lore behind them and the lore behind the male Predators. So I liked how the Yautjas were intrigued in that. I keep calling them Predators even though they are considered Yautjas. So I need to start calling them Yautjas instead of just Predators. But the Yautjas were all different breeds. In Prey, the one in Prey is from a desert landscape. In Yautja Prime, on their planet, they are considered different and a little bit more animalistic, which makes sense. So I didn't hate how he looked, because I was like, oh, he's apparently smaller in stature. He's a lot weaker. So the complaint for that doesn't make any sense. When in the movie, that doesn't affect what happens. They just say he's a runt, which means he didn't grow. He was weaker than his brother, which is shown in the movie. Deck is the main antagonist or protagonist of the movie, and to his brother Kui, he's nothing compared to his brother. And it showed because his brother was a lot faster, stronger, and had a better understanding of the hunt than Deck did. So I don't get that whole, oh, he looks different, there's no reason for that. That doesn't make any sense. Every Predator has looked different in every movie, even if they looked, horrendous. I still remember in Alien vs. Predator, the Predators had human eyes instead of the yellow, bulgy eyes that we've seen in the other ones, so that made no sense. The second complaint I've seen is, oh, it's nothing like the original. Okay, I have seen this complaint so many times, and it has made me very upset, because the problem with that statement is the director has even said that he doesn't want this movie to be compared to the original. If the director himself said, "I want this to be compared to the original," okay, there's a reason for that argument. Okay, he if he said it, then he would mean it, and the movie would have to take inspiration. But the movie itself is not even close to the original. It's something different, and I get people don't want different things for these franchises. I never wanted the MCU to take a different turn in what they did for storytelling. I wanted stories for the characters I loved, but they took a different stature. I dealt with it. It cost them money, and yeah, now they're backtracking on a lot of stuff they said, and they're hunting on different things to, keep them going. I don't see that with the Predator franchise. They're taking different steps to make it better. Predator Killer of Killers was a different style in animation that I liked. The story was interesting because we went back into three different periods of time to see the predators and how they hunted us. So that made sense on why that had to be different. They hunted still in different fashions because each generation is different in hunting. So why is that a bad issue? Okay, and now in this one, a runt of the litter is on his own to go prove himself to his clan to do something different. Why is that such a problem for people? That somebody, a male protagonist, is stepping up to do his own thing. Yeah, does he get help from Ellie Fanning's character Thea? Yeah, because she was there to do her own thing, and she was like, "Oh, I need the Yautja to help me get back to my legs and to my sister, or to Tessa, to finish my mission." That made sense on why she was there. There was a point on why she was there. The little monkey thing that they pick up is something different, and that's for the plot to do its own thing with it. Yeah, they hunt alone. And what's even worse is you can't even say they hunt alone, because in Alien vs. Predator, there was 3 predators. They hunted not on their own. They didn't go off into the pyramid and did their own thing. They were always right next to each other. So I don't get the whole point if somebody says, "Oh, well, they do their own things." Not all the time. If they are young, they will have people help them. So if you guys aren't watching the movies, are you watching the movies or even understanding what half of them are doing? I hate to say it, if you don't want change for a franchise, don't watch it. That's my problem with these people that complain about movies that want change. I didn't watch a lot of Marvel projects because I didn't like the story or the tellings of certain characters. So I didn't watch it. Did they pop up in a thing and I'm like, okay, what are they doing here? What do I care for? And they weren't a pivotal part of the story? Yeah, I don't care. This movie was set in a future to where you didn't have to watch Predator 1, Predator 2, or The Predator from 2018. That made sense to say, oh, this is its own thing. You don't even have, you may have to understand what the Yautja are about, but you don't have to, endure this pain of watching all the other movies, like the Marvel movies or anything else. But the people's complaining on it being different and not like the 1987 movie, it just doesn't make any sense on why you're arguing that. When the director himself said, I want something different for this universe, to go into a different direction and make something of itself. That's what he's doing. And I respect him full-heartedly because I actually agreed with what Deck was doing. Everyone wants to prove themselves. So he decided to do his own thing. Yeah, did he make new friends and a new, clan of his own to do his own thing? Yeah. But it made sense on why he did it against his own father, because he realized, hey, I could do better. And I hate to say it, I don't think Deck is the runt of the litter when Homeboy was out here living on his own to deal with stuff. He didn't even need Thea's help in a lot of situations. He literally destroyed an entire humanoid robot army by himself. Also, this is another thing. Deck actually pulled in the Arnold from the old Predator movies. He built his own weapons. He created his own stuff to help him. So why wasn't that mentioned in anyone's reviews? That Deck was actually doing something cool to honor Arnold's character in the old one. But yet they just want to complain about what he looks like when it's an alien Yautja. So he looks a little bit smaller. That's the point of the movie. He's a runt. He's different. See the arguments here that I don't understand on why they're arguing it? If it's Disneyfied, they did it with a PG-13 rating and actively tried to make something cool of it. The action in the movie was good. I'm not going to sit here and say it was bad at all, because I actually felt on the edge of my seat with some of these scenes. Of like, oh, dang, Dex actually putting in work here. And for him to be that still smart, but not relying on Thea to help him with stuff, made sense. So, like, I just don't get people's arguments here. That a franchise can't change because, oh, well, it established itself in 1987 as a horror. How long can horror go on without being cliche? This is why Halloween is failing. This is why the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been failing, because you can't change it from what it was. You can change Predator because Predator was an action thriller. You can take it or action horror. Horror is a genre that you can step out of. Look at Scream. Scream is kind of basically a joke of itself when Scary Movies made fun of it, so it made a joke of everything. And you're just sitting there like, well, dang, this is just, you could get out of this. With Predator, you can make it a very, very good action movie. And that's what I like about it, because honestly, you don't even need the horror aspect in it. Yeah, is it scary that these guys can hunt us at will and have no issue doing it? Yeah, it is scary. But that's the point of the Alien, is that it's meant to be that way. So it's still scary in its own right that this shit can happen to anybody. But my biggest complaint about this whole thing of people saying it's a dumb movie that Disney Disneyfied it, you know why they did that, right? To put people in seats. When I went and saw this movie, I saw more older fans than I did see my age of fans. So they were catering to a lot of different things for this movie. Kids, maybe, but how many people want to sit there and say, I want to take my kids to a Predator movie, when for the older fans, it makes sense to say, hey, we're not going to make it gory. We're going to make it to where people want to sit in the movie and enjoy it. Not sit there and say, ugh, I was disgusted the whole time because this guy's ripping out guts and eating them and destroying shit. We're past that stage. It's time to get butts in seats. It's hard to make a movie that is based on just ripping and tearing guts. It's good for some fans, but for fans that want a story or good, compelling characters to understand, this is the movie that people want to see. And when everyone who's older than me loves the movie for what it is, and changing of the franchise for a Predator to be a main protagonist in the movie and actually do something other than just hunt and kill humans, it makes it a better movie to sit down and enjoy. I'm honestly wanting to see it again just to listen to the soundtrack, the amazing sound quality of the movie, and see it in a better, bigger picture for the 4K IMAX experience. I kind of want to do that before I see The Running Man next week. And it's like, things can change. I'm saying this as a fan who hated change for certain things. I see why some places take change. You need to take change. And that's what I said in my Battlefield review. Stuff has to change for it to work. And that's what the Predator franchise is doing. And I respect Dan Trachtenberg for doing this. Me and my dad have your full approval over this. Fans of the Predator franchise, if you love this, if you love the movies, it is a different take again, but it is something that you will enjoy. I promise you. Go see this movie. It is a good thing. Dan can learn from it and change as much as he wants to make the Yautja still badass. And there's so much lore from the games to the movies, to the comics at least, too. And we could honestly get a good Alien vs. Predator movie coming out in the next few years. So for my full review, the movie was a 9 out of 10 for me. Yeah, there's some tropes in there that's going to be, killing it. But overall, everything was great, from the soundtrack to the story to the, to the characters. It's just a fun, different movie for Predator. And coming forward through the next years. If they do Killer of Killers 2, or if they do the next Predator movie, Alien versus Predator, we are in for a good long ride for this franchise. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.